Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the backstory. Now, sorry we've been away for some time. We had some technical challenges here and there, but we thank God we are now back. But if you're new here, kindly hit the subscribe button and the notification bell down below so that you can be notified whenever we post a new video. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we want to talk about what happened yesterday. I think you already know that President Ruto appointed some ODM members into his cabinet. Not only ODM members, but top officials in that party. And today when the ODM Secretary General, Sifuna, was put to task as to whether he knew about it prior to the appointment, he came out defending the party and he said clearly, I would want you to listen after this, he has said that he and the party leader, who is Raila Odinga, were not aware, and that President Ruto tapped, that is, talked to Mbadi and the other officials without the information of the party leader and him as the Secretary General. So I would want to ask you, what do you think? Do you think Sifuna is honest in this? And what do you think? Will the likes of Mbadi deliver? So I want us to listen to whatever Sifuna is talking about here. Then we'll come back and analyze. You can also give us your input by commenting on the video in the comment section down below.
What has happened is this. I, as a lawyer, understand that the president has a prerogative to nominate any person to his cabinet. Any person. So if he has been having conversations with John Mbadi, you will not get me to say anything bad about John Mbadi. He's a man that I've worked with in ODM for a very long time. But if he is honest, he will tell you there was no resolution of any organ of a party because he sits in his organs of a party.
Okay.
For him to join government, he has been tapped by the president. He has accepted.
Yeah.
So we don't begrudge these four people. But for you to conflate and say ODM has joined government is to tell an open lie.
So why is this an open lie when the chairman, who is John Mbadi,
yes,
is in cabinet?
Now,
the two deputies, wait. The
yes,
two deputies, Ali Hassan Joho, Wycliffe Oparanya, are in cabinet. The minority leader, Opio Wandai,
yes,
is in cabinet.
That's what I'm telling you.
So how can you then say that you've not joined government?
This is what I want to tell you. ODM is not the SG. I am not ODM. The party chairman is not ODM. ODM is a movement of people, over 5 million Kenyans who are registered members of ODM. And there is a way in which organizations such as ODM make a decision. Let me tell you, Trevor, why we were insisting on having a conversation before any of these things happen. Because right now, like Sifuna, I eat, dream, and leave ODM. If today I find myself seated next to Kindiki in cabinet, to discuss what are we going to implement, because a conversation would have happened in which we would have agreed that, first of all, the president is going to rip up his bottom-up manifesto, and then we are going to rip up our Azimio manifesto. We come up with a document that encompasses the beliefs and the priorities of both political parties. What manifesto are these people going to implement? I heard the president very clearly yesterday. He said they are going to implement the bottom-up transformative manifesto. And
yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, you've heard that is Sifuna, the ODM Secretary General. And I think Sifuna has been very consistent when he's talking about the appointments, because I can remember before this happened, he penned a letter and he stated clearly that they had talked as ODM, that is the executive. They had talked and they had not agreed on how they are going to work with Kenya Kwanza regime. And I think his statement was reinforced by the party leader, who is Raila Odinga, who also said they had not talked and they had set conditions for them to work clearly with the Kenya Kwanza administration. But what I don't understand is how Mbadi and the likes of Oparanya is a party, someone who is very, very close to Raila Odinga, could accept. So it's either Sifuna is not telling the truth, or ODM members have decided, the likes of Mbadi, who is the chairman, have decided, okay, it's time to call it quits. We can still work with William Ruto and deliver for our people, which I highly doubt. Because Mbadi and Oparanya and Joho could have not made that move without the blessings of Raila Odinga. So someone is fooling us here. But put that aside. What I would want to ask is, even if they have decided to go and work with President William Ruto or to salvage the Kenya Kwanza administration, the question is, how are they going to work? What are the modalities? Because if you look at what the Gen Zs have been talking about, in all this, I think the political class is not getting what Kenyans are yearning for. Kenyans are yearning for change. Change in leadership, change in the style of doing things. Just trying to understand Kenyans and then coming up with modalities in how things are going to work. Like if you're going to tackle corruption, how are we going to do it? How are we going to strengthen the ESC? How are we going to strengthen the office of the public prosecutor? The modalities. And then the justice also raised something that I think William Ruto and Baba do not understand here. They talked of having a cabinet that is going to serve the people. So William Ruto, in his thinking, has thought that after getting some 1, 2, 3 people from Baba's side or ODM side, then he will have a clean bill of health to now rewind some of the cabinet secretaries that he had sent packing. So you'd want to ask yourself, why then did he send these people packing? The likes of Murkomen. Murkomen was mentioned adversely in the way, in his lifestyle, in the way he was conducting he was conducting himself as a CS. So does it mean that by bringing him back, it means that all the baggage that he carried has now been cleansed? So those are the questions that William Ruto is not answering. Then the third issue is, which I had asked there, is both Kenya Kwanza administration and ODM are not telling Kenyans how they're going to solve these issues. How are they going to tackle corruption? How are they going to tackle the issue of debt, over taxation, the cost of living? So will the inclusion of Mbadi and Oparanya and Joho sort out all these issues? So I do support Sifuna in a way that he says that there should have been a modality. People should have sat down, like come up with a formation, like a dialogue kind of, come up with the modalities and timelines. Like let's say if you're going to talk about auditing our debts, then when people are dialoguing, they would say, okay, we want to look at the issue of debt. We're going to get a team of professionals who are going to tackle this, and we're giving them timelines. We're giving them 2 months to come up with the recommendations, give us information of what they have found out, give us recommendations, or give us the way forward. Then after that, if it's something that has to go through Parliament, we're going through Parliament, we're going to take 1 week, and it goes to the president, it's assented, and then this is what we're going to do. How are we going to tackle the cost of living? What are policies that ODM is bringing on board that we can merge with the policies of UDA or Kenya Kwanza, so that as we move forward, this is what we are going to do, and these are the timelines. So in a way, it's like we are just moving in cycles. We're not tackling the main issues. But this move is also kind of going to rant Azimio in a way. Because this move is kind of hitting the last nail on Azimio. How will Baba, remaining on this other side, work with the likes of Kalonzo Musyoka, work with the likes of Martha Karua? And I would want to blame all this in all the parties that form Azimio, because Azimio has been tantering here and there. They don't want to come out boldly and take up their position as the opposition party in Kenya or opposition coalition in Kenya. You find that there are other parties within Azimio that have been working with the Kenya Kwanza administration. Look at Jubilee Party. Jubilee Party has been working with Azimio all along. So I think this has kind of created some tension within Azimio, and they've not been bold enough to address the issues that have been welding them. Secondly, there are accusations within the coalition that Kalonzo Musyoka on this end has been quoting, I don't know if it's true, has been quoting Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. So the last nail that is going to seal the fate of Azimio, I don't know if it will be salvaged, was this move by ODM leaders. But to me, I don't think this is the end of it. Kenyans can still rise up. I think the Gen Zs, if they are serious enough, can keep the pressure on the national or on the ruling party or the ruling elite, so that they form themselves into an opposition outfit right now, putting pressure on the weakest link in this fight. The weakest link to me in this fight is the legislature, which are the members of parliament. I think if you look at the legislature since we started this, it has been the weakest link. I think they are so frightened, and these are the people that we need to put pressure on, so that going forward they are able to look at this, they are able to play their role, which is the oversight role. You know, initially or in the past, the legislature has been in bed with the executive. They have not been doing their job. So if we put pressure on the legislature, then they'd be able to know that they need to keep the executive under check. So I don't think that the fight is lost. What Kenyans need to do, as I have said, is to make sure that we hold our members of parliament accountable. They be proactive in oversighting the executive. And if anyone bolts out or shows signs of not trying to do his role, then we have the power to recall them. So that is what we need to, or Kenyans need to use now, so that they can put pressure on them, and also to keep putting the executive as well under pressure, talking to them, engaging them, and giving them timelines on what they need to do. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is our first blog back. If you're new here and you like our content, kindly hit the subscribe button and the notification bell down below, so that you can be notified when we post a new video. So until next time, bye-bye.